Chapter 1. The Spark of Ambition. Alex Carter grew up in a working-class neighborhood of Houston, Texas. His parents owned a small diner on the corner of a busy street, famous among locals for its classic burgers and hearty breakfasts. Though money was always tight, Alex's father often reminded him, "It's not about what you're born with, son. It's about how far you're willing to go." From childhood, Alex displayed a restless curiosity. While his friends played basketball, he rearranged the kitchen to improve workflow or sketched ideas for machines that could make his parents' lives easier. His mother laughed. "One day, Alex, you're not going to flip burgers, you're going to run something big." At the University of Texas, Alex studied business administration. He devoured biographies of American entrepreneurs, Walt Disney, Elon Musk, Howard Schultz. What fascinated him wasn't their wealth, but their resilience. A line he underlined in a book stuck with him. Entrepreneurship is not about avoiding risk, it's about managing it. During his senior year, Alex interned at a regional logistics company. There, he noticed a recurring problem. Last-mile delivery for the booming e-commerce industry was chaotic. Packages arrived late, damaged, or not at all. Small businesses suffered from angry customers. While most people dismissed it as part of the job, Alex saw opportunity. One evening, sitting with his best friend Jake on a rooftop overlooking Houston's skyline, Alex said, "What if we built a smarter delivery service? Something people could actually trust. Transparent, efficient, reliable. Small shops could thrive if they knew their products reached customers on time." Jake smirked. "You're a college kid with no money. Who's going to hand you their business?" Alex grinned. "Someone has to start somewhere." That conversation planted the seed of SwiftLink Logistics, a startup Alex dreamed of building to transform last-mile delivery in America. He had no capital, little experience, and only a rough sketch on notebook paper. But what he had was ambition and a fire in him that couldn't be ignored. When graduation came, his classmates applied for safe corporate jobs. Alex's parents urged him to do the same. "Find something steady first," his mother pleaded. But Alex shook his head. "If I don't try now, I'll regret it forever." And so began his entrepreneurial journey, a path filled with sleepless nights, countless rejections, and storms that would test his resilience. Alex didn't yet know that this road would not only shape his company, but also transform how he understood ambition, failure, and true success. Chapter 2. The Struggle of Beginnings. Launching SwiftLink was nothing like the glossy startup stories Alex read online. The reality was raw and unforgiving. His first challenge was funding. He pitched to local investors, but they dismissed him. "You're too young," they said. "Logistics is messy. Amazon and FedEx dominate. What makes you think you can do better?" Some laughed outright. Every rejection stung, but Alex's determination hardened. With his meager savings, he rented a cramped office above a taco shop. He convinced Jake and a computer science grad named Lisa to join him, offering little pay but plenty of belief. Together, they built a bare-bones app that let customers track deliveries in real time. It wasn't pretty, but it was functional, something local businesses had never seen before. Alex spent his days pounding the pavement. He visited mom-and-pop shops, restaurants, and boutique stores, pitching SwiftLink as a reliable partner. Most owners were skeptical, but a few agreed to try. With no fleet, Alex himself delivered packages in his aging Ford pickup, racing across Houston under blazing heat or pouring rain. At night, he coded alongside Lisa, fixing glitches in the app until dawn. The workload was crushing. He often collapsed on the office floor, waking up to the smell of tacos drifting upstairs. When his parents visited, his mother gasped at his pale face. "Alex, this isn't healthy." But his father placed a steady hand on his son's shoulder and said, "Every seed has to struggle before it grows into a tree." Still, progress was painfully slow. One month, expenses outstripped revenue by thousands of dollars. He stared at the red numbers on his laptop, despair tightening his chest. Was he foolish to believe he could challenge an industry giants had yet to solve? One particularly bad day, after several failed deliveries and an angry client threatening to quit, Alex sat in his truck, head against the steering wheel. He nearly opened a job board site on his phone. Then his inbox pinged, a message from a local bakery. "Thank you. Because of your service, my customers got fresh pies on time today. You saved us." Tears welled in his eyes. It wasn't money or recognition, it was impact. That one message reignited his will to keep fighting. Slowly, more small businesses signed on. Word spread that SwiftLink actually delivered on its promises. But with growth came greater challenges. Hiring staff, managing operations, and facing competitors. Alex was entering deeper waters, and storms were on the horizon. Chapter 3. The Fall and the Lesson. At first, SwiftLink's rise felt unstoppable. Small businesses praised its reliability, and investors began circling. With funding, Alex expanded the fleet, hired more drivers, and rented a bigger office. For a moment, he believed the hard part was behind him. But growth without balance is dangerous. Alex, passionate but inexperienced, struggled to manage people. Drivers complained about long hours and low pay. The app crashed during busy periods. Instead of delegating, Alex micromanaged, working 16-hour days. His friend Jake warned him, "You're burning yourself and us out." Alex brushed him off. "We need to push harder. Once we capture the market, it'll all be worth it." Then disaster struck. During the holiday rush, SwiftLink secured a contract with a major online retailer. But the surge overwhelmed their system. Deliveries failed, customers vented on social media, and the retailer pulled out. News spread fast. Competitors seized the chance to lure away clients. Investors backed out. Within weeks, SwiftLink's reputation collapsed. The office emptied as employees quit. Debt collectors called daily. Alone in the dim office, Alex felt crushed under the weight of shame. He had promised so much to his parents, his team, his clients, and failed. One evening, he drove to his parents' diner. His mother looked at him with worry. His father, however, simply said, "Do you remember when the diner almost closed? We burned food, lost customers, had empty tables. But we didn't quit. We learned, adapted, and kept cooking. That's life, Alex. You can't control every storm, but you can learn to navigate it." Those words pierced him. He realized his downfall wasn't just bad luck, it was pride. He had tried to do everything alone, afraid to trust others or admit weakness. If SwiftLink had a future, it had to be rebuilt differently. Swallowing his pride, Alex called Jake and Lisa. He apologized for his mistakes and asked them to help rebuild. Together, they shifted strategy, focusing on small businesses instead of chasing big contracts, improving working conditions for drivers, and stabilizing the app before scaling again. It was humbling, but for the first time, Alex felt he wasn't chasing ego, he was building with purpose. Chapter 4. Rising from the Ashes. The comeback was slow but steady. SwiftLink was no longer chasing giant contracts. It focused on serving small and mid-sized businesses with consistency. Alex met weekly with drivers. Listening to their feedback, he introduced fair wages, bonuses for performance, and better schedules. Morale improved, and customers noticed the difference. "We're not just delivering packages," Alex reminded his team. "We're delivering trust." Lisa led major upgrades to the app: route optimization, instant customer feedback, and better tracking. Alex, once a control freak, now encouraged his team to take ownership. This shift unleashed creativity and strengthened loyalty. Financially, things were tight. Alex lived frugally, often eating at the diner, refusing to take a salary. But he felt strangely fulfilled. Success wasn't just about profit anymore. It was about helping businesses thrive. A turning point came when SwiftLink partnered with a farmers' cooperative in California's Central Valley. They needed a reliable way to get fresh produce to city markets. Using SwiftLink's system, the farmers bypassed middlemen and reached customers directly. "Because of you, our strawberries are on store shelves the same day they're picked," one farmer told Alex. "You're not just delivering food, you're delivering hope." That's when Alex truly saw his mission come to life. Gradually, SwiftLink rebuilt its reputation. Local investors, impressed by its steady recovery, offered support. This time, Alex chose only partners who aligned with his values. He refused to expand recklessly again. Alex also began speaking at universities, sharing his failures as openly as his successes. Students found his honesty refreshing. One told him, "Your story makes me believe it's okay to fail and to keep going." At the end of the year, SwiftLink was profitable again. It wasn't the largest player, but it had carved out a niche: reliable last-mile delivery for small and medium-sized businesses across Texas and beyond. Alex looked around at his loyal team one evening and realized this wasn't just a company. It was a family forged by struggle. He finally understood. True entrepreneurship wasn't about avoiding failure, but about rising again each time you fall. Chapter 5: Redefining Success. Years later, Alex stood on stage at a national business conference in San Francisco. The SwiftLink logo shone behind him, now recognized across much of the United States. But instead of bragging about profits, he shared his failures: sleeping on an office floor, losing investors, and almost shutting down. "Success," he told the crowd, "isn't how fast you rise. It's how many times you can get back up after falling." SwiftLink had grown into a respected logistics solution, but Alex's pride wasn't in numbers. It was in the bakery that became a franchise thanks to on-time deliveries, the farmers who reached new markets, and countless mom-and-pop shops that survived because customers received their goods. Outside the spotlight, Alex remained humble. He still visited his parents' diner often, sitting in the same booth where he once sketched out plans. He realized he had once equated entrepreneurship with wealth and recognition. But now he knew entrepreneurship was service. It was resilience. It was the courage to keep going when the world doubted you. He also mentored young founders, telling them not to fear mistakes. He'd say, "Failure is inevitable, but it's also your greatest teacher. Don't chase glory, chase meaning." One evening, Alex and Jake sat on the office balcony in Houston, coffee cups in hand. Jake smirked. "Remember when you said someone has to start somewhere? Well, you did. Look at us now." Alex chuckled. "Not me, us." That night, Alex wrote a letter to himself, something he hoped young entrepreneurs would one day read. The journey is never straight. You will stumble, doubt, and sometimes break. But if your purpose is clear, you'll find a way to rise again. Success is not a destination. It's an ongoing act of service, courage, and growth. When SwiftLink celebrated its 20th anniversary, Alex looked out at his 1,000-strong team and thought of his father's words. It's not about what you're born with. It's about how far you're willing to go. At last, Alex understood, and he smiled, knowing he had gone far, not just in business, but in life. Thanks for watching. Take action today, not tomorrow. Press subscribe. And let's keep learning together. You're doing great. See you in the next one. Stay strong.